What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we are going over a video that's been requested the past couple days on captain skills for ranked battles. Now, ranked is just around the corner. It starts this Friday. It still doesn't say that it starts in a few days, but it does start in a few days. And this is the first season that is tier 10s. Now you'll go tier 8s all the way to rank 10, and then from there you will go to tier 10 ships. Now, I will put a link down below to my video of all the best, what I think are going to be the best ships of this season, and we'll kind of let you guys know if you haven't picked a ship yet and what will probably give you the best choice. So instead of going through and clicking through and showing you all my captains and spending doubloons and kind of switching over, we are going to switch over to the Ship Comrade tool, which is a fantastic tool. You guys can check it out yourself. And this is a tool you can go on to shipcomrade.com. I'll put a link down below for that. You can go in, make captain builds for free, test them out, show what they'll do, and it's a really, really cool tool. Go check out shipcomrade.com. You can also track your stats for leaderboards and find out where you are on rank season compared to everyone else, and it's a really, really cool tool. But I use this all the time. People ask me for builds. I use this tool. It's super easy. You can build a URL, and this is what we're going to go over. So let's start out and just kind of jump right into it. I'll try to do some timestamps down below for certain classes so you guys can kind of jump around if you really want, and you guys can go and basically check out whatever. But for the basic destroyer, now this is going to be anything from the gearing, the gearing, the Z52, the Yu Yang. These are all going to be very similar. This is pretty much my base destroyer build. Now this is going to be like my first 10 points for everything. Now I will make 19-point captains, kind of peel back whatever you don't have, but I'm assuming a lot of people are going to have relatively high level captains at tier 10 ships anyway. But this is going to be my basic for everything. So this is what you want to do, and what this is doing is this is letting you know how many targets are attacking or are focused on you. This gives you a lot of information with there only being 7 ships in ranked battles. I mean, this is just good to have. It just gives you a ton of information for 1 point. But especially in ranked, if let's say you're way on a flank and 2 people are focused on you, then you know potentially there's an extra destroyer that you don't know is there or is spotting you. So prior target is a must in my opinion. Last stand is a must, 100%. If you don't take this, you are just a crazy man. Survivability expert, this is absolutely massive. It's going to give you 3,500 more life. Me, Josh, it's only 3,500 more life. That's going to give you about 25% more life on some of these ships. 20%, 15%. This is a massive boost for 3 points, and it's really, really good. And then, of course, concealment. So this is the basic of every destroyer I play besides, I guess, the Khaba. But for everything, this is the base. So for USN, German, and the Pan-Asian, the Yu Yang, this is what I'm probably going to pick next, and I'm probably going to roll Torpedo Armament Expertise, which is going to increase your torpedo load. You want to get those torps out as much as possible. This is really, really, really good. We still have 6 points, so it's fine, and it's nice to pick this up and really have a those extra points. Now, this is one, since I'm more of a destroyer hunter, and actually you might even want to pick this one up first. Yes, I know it's a meme captain skill, but when there's only 7 ships, and let's say it's 1v1 destroyers, stuff like that, you want to give yourself an advantage. So I will be rolling a radiolocation captain. This can help you throw out kind of blind torpedoes towards something, especially if something isn't spotted. Radiolocation is massive. Of course, you do not need this, but I highly recommend it if you are playing any kind of quote-unquote destroying hunter DD, that is the gearing, the Yu Yang, the Z52. You want to give yourself an advantage because most likely you're going to be going against an IGN destroyer that is going to be stealthier. So the Shima, you are going to kind of have a disadvantage because they will spot you. So you need to be able to kind of pinch them into a corner or push them to the side, something like that. Potentially, if they don't have it and you do, you can kind of surprise them and get around the corner and torp them. Really, really, really important. And then a pretty basic adrenaline rush is what I would run. Now, one thing you could do, this is just the icing on the cake for everything. This is fantastic. And adrenaline rush is just, it's good for literally every ship in the entire game. There's not a ship that does not benefit from this. One thing you could do if you don't want faster torps and you are getting hit by torps a lot, actually vigilance isn't too bad. I ran this on my Benson captain. The problem about vigilance is torp armament expertise is so good that you probably have to drop radiolocation. But if you are finding yourself getting hit by torps, vigilance is actually pretty nice. It gives you that little bit extra of a buffer to spot those torps, so you can maybe get the turn off, stuff like that. If you're a German destroyer, you don't really need it because you have sonar most of the time. But this actually is kind of nice to have. Not needed at all. It's just a quality of life thing. I think this is the basic run. This is basically what I'll be running. If you want to be a bit more of a team player and you really don't like radio location or it doesn't give you anything, just drop it, pick up something else, you know, maybe extra marksmanship if you want. It's not really needed, but I have one more point anyway, so it wouldn't really matter. And probably picking up like preventive maintenance or something like that. If you don't want radio location, this is probably what I would run if I don't, because it gives you that extra smoke, potentially an extra AA if needed. But again, this is going to be my loadout. This is what I'm going to be running on my Yu Yang. I'm going to run this on my Yu Yang, my Z52, and my gearing. It's just a good overall. So what you're doing is you are giving yourself an advantage to hunt down destroyers, which you're going to be mainly focusing on. Giving your torps more damage, and overall just buffing everything by making you sneakier, giving yourself more life, and damage. If you do take it, you will be firing faster. This is basic. This is absolutely basic for a DD. Again, vigilance if you want it. Superintendent if you want that extra smoke. Let's say you're going to be maybe more of a team player. After that, it's pretty normal. One thing you could do, let's pick out just if you are going to run the Kabarovs. Basically, the Kabarovs is going to be a little different. Maybe I'd still pick that as a Khaba. I would kind of stick with this, get rid of that. You pick up AFT and then probably Demo Expert. This is what I would run with the Khaba, because you don't need Concealment Expert because you're going to be shooting all the time. You could pick up radio location still because you will kind of be able to chase down destroyers because you're so fast. You could drop this easily too and pick up BFT or something like that, or even extra marksmanship and some other stuff. But this is a basic Khaba one here. So again, pick around stuff you want. Things you're going to be throwing in as a DD is going to be Vigilance, Superintendent. I don't think you need extra marksmanship for many of the DDs. I think their turrets turn fast enough. Jack of all trades is kind of mediocre. I guess this would be okay if you are running the Radar Yu Yang. But all in all, I mean, BFT is okay, but I feel like Destroyer reload is so quick anyway on most of these ships that it's not really needed. You just don't really get that much. But this is the Khaba. But again, as a basic one, this is what I will be running for almost all of my destroyers. You want that life, AFT, what did I have with that? Radio location. This is just good. It's good for IGN, it's good for German, it's good for Pan Asian, it's good for USN. It's good for almost everything. You just really don't need Concealment Expert for Russian DDs. You're going to be spotted. Same with the Grozavoy. This is still good for Grozavoy. So this is what I would run for most DDs right here. And again, pick up stuff that you think you really need. So for cruisers, now cruisers are going to play very, very different. One thing you are going to want to do is, of course, the pretty basic. And again, this is going to be my kind of normal setup for these guys. Now, of course, the Minotaur and stuff like that are going to have it. This is going to be my basic setup for this. It really, really is. Your priority target, still want that information. Adrenaline Rush is just great. Demo Expert, because you want to be lighting everything on fire and watching the world burn. Now, of course, if you are running Minotaur, which it's going to be a pretty brutal season for you, Demo Expert, of course, doesn't do anything except for your secondaries, and then Concealment Expert. After that, I want to pick up AFT. Yeah, there probably won't be too many CVs, but overall, it'll be pretty nice to have. And then Superintendent is just great, and then Expert Marksmanship. You can't go wrong with a build like this. It's just good, right? Zal, it makes HE better. Moscow makes HE better. Everything, right? If there are planes, even spotter planes, fighter planes that are going around from other ships, gives it extra little bit of range to it. Yes, extra little range of secondaries, which you probably won't use that much, but still, this is a very good basic loadout. You could run something more AA if you needed, but I really don't think you'll see many CVs this season because like nobody has tier 10 CVs, honestly. There are some out there, I know, before I get flamed in chat, but I don't think you rarely saw them last season, and it was a purchasable tier for premium ships. I don't think you'll see many at all this season, but, you know, who knows? Maybe it'll be flooded this season. I'm not sure. But this is just a good overall basic. Now, if you want something like if you're getting hit with Torps, again, if you're getting hit with Torps a lot, Vigilance. Now, if you want to go kind of a super try-hard build, which is very possible, what you want to do is this. Now, this is kind of what I ran for clan battles, and what you are doing is basically stacking this with the module, these two with the module of the fire extinguishations or whatever. So what this is basically doing is this is limiting the amount of time. I think if you run this with a certain module, it'll give you only like an 18 second fire or something like that. I forgot what it is off the top of my head. It's been a few weeks now. But this is really, really good. This is kind of a more of a try hard build. You are going to lose the extra heal for all the ships, which isn't really that big of a deal. If you run Minotaur, you really honestly do need this though for extra heal and extra smoke more than anything. But this is also kind of a more try hard build right here. So you are limited the amount of time. So you can actually let 2 fires burn out because they just don't last that long. Because if you are going to go in a bit more aggressive, you have the ability with this to kind of push more damage out because you can take more damage from HE and fires. Because you can, especially during clan battles, I let almost, if it was a single fire, I almost let it burn out every time because your repair can almost get the entire repair on it because you just repaired it so quick. So this is really good. Again, this is more an aggressive build. Again, you're going to kind of see what's bugging you. If you're going to hit by torps, just take vigilance. It does help. And most of the time you'll be running hydro anyway, because I doubt you'll see too many CVs. If you do see CVs in queue, be sure to pop the A consumable on instead of hydro. But more than anything, I would run that hydro module and hydro or reload, and then you should be kind of good there. But this is another good one. So either this one for more of an aggressive in your face, or just a very, very basic. This is going to work well. Again, pick around a couple ones that are going to help you out. Don't pick Survivabilty Cruiser. It's not going to do anything. All these things really aren't going to do anything. There's not enough planes, I don't think, that are really going to do anything. Inertia Fuse isn't going to do enough, in my opinion. Yeah, picking up, if you can, Expert Loader will actually be pretty nice, but it's not needed. Again, it's going to be this, or it's going to be this. That's going to be your 2 best builds for cruisers. Now for battleships. Now, there's a lot of builds you can do for battleships, and I'll show you what I basically run on battleships, and this is going to be a little different, and we'll touch on fire prevention a little bit and what I really think about it, but this is my basic build for battleships. The first 10 points, right here. That's what I run. What does this do? Takes it so your guns don't get knocked out, fire and flood lasts a short amount of time, and you want to be as stealthy as possible. This, I don't think people realize what Concealment Expert actually does. When I've talked about it on stream, people are like, hey, I shoot all the time, I'm spotted anyways, why do I want concealment? The concealment lets you get away from fights. If a battleship has concealment, and let's say you have concealment and they don't, you can get away from that fight and run away, get more health, they won't know where you are, and then you get a more advantage spot. So concealment is in my opinion a must for every battleship, unless you're running like a straight up full secondary build, and you don't run it. I don't run it on one of my captains. Very, very, very important. Again, picking up AFT, it's just good to have. This is just a fantastic skill. And even in clan battles, I didn't run fire protection, so I would probably run. This is kind of tough for me. Adrenaline Rush is just great. Superintendent will give you that extra heal. This is what I would probably run for my battleship right here. Again, if you're taking torpedoes, you can switch up that for that, right? Because if you're going to be able to dodge more torpedoes, it's going to be worth that extra heal. That's all Superintendent's going to give you, is that extra heal. It won't give you an extra plane. You just won't use enough planes. So, Vigilance though. Vigilance is great if you are taking those torps. That'll make it from taking potentially 3 torpedoes to potentially 1. Instead of being murdered into that, it gives you a little bit more. Now, if they're deep water torps, you're basically screwed anyway. But this is pretty basic. Now, if you want to run a complete secondary build, this is what you're going to end up having to do. You're going to drop that right away, and you're going to pick up. Oh, we don't have enough points. What are we going to pick up? You have to drop that, and this is going to be your basic build. Expert Loader is probably a good one to pick up, in my opinion. Still want to run this, you'll end up actually dropping that. So hold on, we'll go this, and then we'll go that. So this is going to be your secondary build. Actually, we still have 2 more. Dang. All right, hold. All right, probably something like that, I guess. So you could do that. So what you're doing is you are taking the range, you're taking the manual secondaries. You could pick up BFT if you want. You could actually do something like this for the extra secondary. You're just going to rain. You're rained on everything. The thing about this, it's not going to be very effective. People who are going to be better and better in ranked battles are just going to burn you down. You're not going to be able to be effective. Even with the even with the Republic's range on its secondaries of like 11 kilometers or whatever they are, you just won't survive. So it's not going to be very effective, but you give up concealment expert for this stuff, and this is a super aggro. Super aggro. One thing you could do too is like picking up like a full zombie build, something like this, and just going absolutely ham. You know, just you're saying, hey, I'm gonna take this damage. I'm just gonna super tank and just cause mayhem on everybody. This is a build you could run if you just want to be hyper aggressive and potentially try to get that 2-for-1 trade every game. But in most games, you're gonna have like everyone's just gonna drag you away, and you're just gonna get burnt down before you can really do anything. A smart cruiser just won't get within range of you. A smart battleship will start running away too, or backing up. So you're gonna have to keep pushing forward, so your secondaries won't be full in effect. So to really get your secondaries going, like being super useful, you need to turn broadside or at least a little bit. So a good player will just chew you up. This is going to be kind of a nice overall zombie push, hyper aggressive build. Again, you're giving up your concealment, you're giving up your extra heal, you're giving up adrenaline rush, you're giving up a lot to do this. But this is going to be very, very effective. Again, pick around stuff you guys want. I'm just going to give you guys an extra build. But going back to what the battleships look like for me, I would run something like this. Again, this is my basic 10 point. We're going to pick up this. I'm not going to run... I would most likely run Montana or Republic. So what you're going to end up doing is just kind of, as the game's going on, shooting, going dark, shooting, going dark, shooting, going dark. And then late game, you're going to get a bit more aggressive. Because what you're going to do is you're going to be, if you've ever played it in clan battles or watched a battleship in clan battles, you're very opportunistic. So you're going to be shooting a lot, but you are going to also try to take time that you won't shoot for a couple minutes to get into a better position to then start, you know, maybe getting a better salvo on a broadside cruiser or something like that. So very good kind of build right here. This is what I would kind of run. Again, your guns aren't going to get knocked out. You're stealthier. This is just good to have for secondaries. The more damage you take, the more damage you do, extra heal, and then living longer. I'm not going to go over CVs, guys. I just don't think one, I'm not a high tier CV player. I wouldn't do you guys justice. There's plenty of other CCs that are out there that can give you some good CV builds, but it's not me. I don't think you'll see too many this season. Now, if you want to be completely troll, I guess the full AA builds would be something like this. This would probably work for cruisers as well. DDs, so hold. So what you'd end up doing is DDs would be this, BFT like that. This is going to work for basically everything, honestly. This is what you would run on kind of everything. Of course, the battleship, you're not going to run Last Stand, but you'd probably run just Adrenaline Rush. Rocking that full AA. This is the full AA lols, and you guys can go out there and have some fun and do that. This is, so if you see CVs, you want to run a full AA Girls, want to run a full AA Benson. Well, I mean, you could run Benson for a little bit. Gearing, minnow, stuff like that. This is going to be kind of the insanity that is that. Minnow, actually, you're going to want to drop that for that, and you could pick up that. So that's something you can do. But anyways, this is going to be the normal for like other stuff. But anyways, that is going to be it for me, guys. A nice little captain builds. I know it's kind of a little all over the place, so kind of pick up what you want, what you think is going to do. One of the biggest things is going to be people picking up vigilance. If you are finding yourself getting hit by lots of torpedoes, vigilance is not a bad idea. You do have to give up some stuff for it, but it's not. It's worth it. Trading superintendent for vigilance, this will just be worth it. That's most likely what you're gonna have to give up for it. Again, this is a pretty broad cover of what we were actually going to see in this game. It's going to be completely up to you guys on how you play. So if you're going to play super aggressive, you're going to pick some of the more hyper aggressive stuff. You're going to play kind of standard and normal. You're going to pick kind of the builds I started out with and kind of the builds I'm going to be running. There's not really that much difference in a lot of the builds, but it's just a little thing that can make. And again, pick stuff if you are seeing it. I think there's like a free respec coming up too at some point. If you are seeing something going wrong, if you're seeing more planes, if you're seeing more DDs, you're seeing more of that, change your captain to go with that. And also, when it comes to rank, guys, play one ship and master that ship. If you are playing all kinds of ships, jumping around from the gearing to the Khaba to the Yamato to the Moscow after that stuff, I mean, if you're doing that, all these ships, even if you're bouncing between like the Yu Yang, the Gearing, the Grozavoy, if you're bouncing between all of these destroyers, they all play different, they all turn different. You want to master whatever ship you are playing. So, and you want to keep whatever build kind of stationary. Now, it's going to take you some time to maybe find out the kind of meta you're playing, find out what ship sticks with you this season, because this is a very unique season. But again, kind of find what you want to play and then stick with that ship and get your freaking ranks out there and have some fun. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. This has been requested for a while, so hope this video helps. And hope this can kind of get you guys higher ranks and get you a good captain build. Again, based off a 19-point captain, so kind of fall back on like dropping Adrenaline Rush, dropping stuff like that. That's kind of the cherry on top for these kind of things. And good luck out there, guys. That's it for me, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.